Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the water signs and their twin flame connection. Twins, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. I hope you all are doing well. If you are here as a cross watcher, welcome. If you don't know what a twin flame is or what the twin flame journey is, I have included a link to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length explanation on twin flames, all the ins and outs and idiosyncrasies and characteristics of the twin flame journey, and she just does such a beautiful job of explaining it. In a nutshell, the twin flame journey involves two people who share the same energetic oversoul. So one soul in two people, like two individuals. There's often a runner-chaser dynamic and a separation period where the twins come together, have an incredible, earth-shattering experience connecting with their twin, but the experience becomes too pressurized and the twins have to separate in order to kind of come to grips with the connection, but also to really figure out who they are as individuals, to undergo their spiritual awakening and their spiritual ascension. And hopefully, if they so desire, come together in union, come back together in union. Strangely enough, in 5 years of no contact with my twin, we have now reunited. And I don't want to say much more than that because I want to see if he's okay with it, but I will say that everything that has ever been described to me about the twin flame connection actually manifested in my life exactly as described. So I will always continue to do these readings to help twins navigate this journey, because even though I've come back into union with my twin, it has been one heck of a ride and continues to be. So let's get started. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The Citadel Oracle for the base spread of your reading. And today I'm going to be using the Fountain Tarot. I haven't used this deck in a very long time. It's like the second deck I ever got. My sister gave this deck to me, and I'm going to be using that for your reading today. I didn't pick a deck for the overall energy, and I think I will do that from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. The Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. I've since given my twin his own reading, and I used this deck actually for it, so I will use it for all of you today. Let me just shuffle these cards a little bit. This is for the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and their twin flame connection. What is the overall energy for the twin flame connection for the water signs, please, Spirit? The uncreated, increatum. I've never pulled this card. The uncreated, the unseen, the yet to be created. I'm going to light another candle. I always light 2 candles for my twin flame readings, and one of them had gone out. It had gone out before. It's not an omen or anything. It had gone out before. You know what this reminds me of? Well, first of all, this color palette reminds me of peacock feathers. So there's some sense where you may be peacocking, you may be showing off, you may be, you know, in a good way, like showing off your feathers, showing what you're made of in some circumstance in your life. I feel like your spirit guides just came in. Some circumstance in your life, whether it's work or family, you're really kind of showing your stuff. This reminds me, this is strange, this reminds me of a gem, like a precious jewel, a gem. And this sliver of light reminds me of tweezers, which is strange. But I see it as a gem and tweezers to kind of illustrate the preciousness of something, the looking at the clarity. Like when we talk about gemstones, we're looking at the clarity of gems, the color, the value, the rarity, and it's a delicate process. You have to have a refined sense of, you have to have a refined skill set to be able to look at these things, look at these details. And I feel like there's something in your connection where the both of you are looking at the details of the possibilities of what could be, the uncreated. Excuse me. Throat chakras. You know, these are, the heavy energies come through when I do twin flame readings for obvious reasons. But I feel as though this is like a sacred pool, and like emerging from it is this crystal or this gem. And there are differences, there are different things that give jewels or gems their value, their worth. And I feel as though you could see this as an uncut gem, waiting to be refined, waiting to be faceted, to be made more complex, dynamic, reflective, refractive. But with that process, there needs to be shedding, sanding, shaving away of things, right? If we came with like a raw crystal, like, I don't know, something like this. This is raw. Nature created this shape, but this is a raw crystal. And I wanted to make a ring out of this beautiful lodolite quartz. In order to do that, so much of the material would have to be taken away in order to get to the clearest, most refined part. So it's sacrificial. There's like a sacrificial feeling that is being conveyed to me at this time. That in order to create something, something has to be let go of. It has to be discarded. You know, it also reminds me of like, which artist was it? Michelangelo, who did the famous sculpture of David? Was it Michelangelo? This is terrible. I was an art major. I don't remember. I want to say it was Michelangelo who did the famous sculpture of David, you know, the perfect human specimen or whatever representation. But he started with a slab of marble and slowly chipping away, discovering the beauty within. And I think that there's something to be said about your twin flame connection where you're just uncovering the beauty within. And we're slowly chipping away at all the things that don't belong, right? In terms of your best and highest good, not because there's anything wrong. We're just in a process of up-leveling and refinement for ourselves. I'm going to get 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier. The first 2 cards will be your energy. The second two will be your twins. The third set will be the connection. And the fourth set will be advice from spirit. Feel free to switch your energy with your twins, as the twins often mirror one another. They mirror energies. The base cards are down. Grabbing the tarot. Okay. One of these cards actually came out for my twin, so we shall see. Okay. Your energy, water signs. And again, if you identify with this side or your twin side, just take it as it resonates. The captain, taking command and teamwork. So I feel as though for your part, for your side of things, there is this sense of wanting to work together, of cooperation. Can we come to a level of understanding, of mutual respect, where things are illuminated with these lanterns here on both sides? There's equality, there is reciprocity, equal give and take. That you know, and I see these leaves here, and I think of expansion and growth. And you, like, taking command, teamwork, it's like you're taking the lead on it, water signs. You are taking the lead. You are making the forward strides in this endeavor, which is not to say you are the first one to reach out, or you're the first. That's not necessarily what that means. It just means that I feel as though there's a determination about you. A determination to come at a resolution, at an understanding, an understanding. It's weird because this also, like, it kind of reminds me of 2 eyes in the darkness, kind of being able to see clearly. It also reminds me of glasses, right? Again, that process of refinement, looking at things in detail, in high resolution, more closely. You know what this reminds me of? What is that practice called? When people take sound waves and they put sand down, or they put water down to see how the sand or the water create patterns, the frequency, the patterns in frequency that might be important. What is it called? Cymatics, I want to say. Cymatics. The study of the visualization of sound. And that is coming through very clearly with this imagery. Frequency. Are we on the same frequency as our twin? How do we even approach that? When we become in alignment with our higher self, right? Always, always, always in the twin flame journey, you want it to come back to the self. You want to work on yourself, focus on yourself, up-level yourself, take care of yourself. That's the key. That's always been the key. No matter how much you want to be there for your twin, and you can be there for them, and to a certain extent, you're always there for them to a certain extent, but it's always the key to the success is truly focusing on the well-being of the self first, and then the well-being of your twin, because the higher you rise, the higher they rise. It's just that mirroring energy that's so beautiful. And the adverse is also true, right? We lower ourselves, we lower our frequency, our standards for ourselves. You know, it only reflects in the connection. To clarify the captain for your energy, you got the 8 of Cups in the reverse. 8 of Cups in the upright, walking away from something that does not fulfill us, does not serve our best and highest good. Not knowing where we may be going, where we may be headed, knowing that we have to walk away. There could have been some of that in your past, but now the card is in reverse. I feel as though this is speaking of a homecoming, predominantly a homecoming back to the self, stepping back towards the self, understanding the self. Let me get a clarifier for the 8 of Cups. Thank you. The 3 of Coins in the reverse. 3 of Coins in the upright talks about collaboration, co-creation, coming together. It talks about teamwork. So this card, clarifying the 8 of Cups in reverse, it kind of says that you had to figure this all out on your own. That you wanting to work with your twin, there had to be a lot of alone time. There had to be a lot of introspection and meditation, quiet contemplation, a lot of self-work on self-love, a lot of healing from triggers and traumas. It couldn't really ever involve anyone else except spirit, but it wasn't a group activity, not even with your twin. You had to figure it out on your own, hence the separation. Could still be going through this process. I do feel, strangely, I do feel that a lot of twins are coming together in union at this time. Just given what I've seen on platforms, other social media platforms, people that are twin flame coaches, whatever, they're seeing people coming together. I would not have believed it if it hadn't happened to me. I would have been like, oh, well, twins are coming together. Where are they? You know, where are they coming together? But it's strange. It's strange. I wish I could. Maybe someday I'll do another Honey Drop Stories, and I will tell the story of this reunion with my twin. It's already been, it's only been 2 weeks, but it's like a world. My whole world has changed. My entire world has changed, right? So this could be in process for you. It's coming back to the self, and it's really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Your twins' energy, they got the Dancer, self-expression, and strength. So beautiful, right? Perhaps for the first time, your twin feeling like they can express themselves, even if it's not with you, with somebody, with something, with the world, that they're not keeping everything on the inside, that they're making bold gestures, bold statements, grand statements. There's a little bit of vulnerability here, strength in vulnerability, strength in expression. Right? And it's so amazingly clarified by the Knight of Swords. Fast communication, fast action. The Knight of Swords is the quickest one. And he has so much to say. Which, it's crazy, because it reminds me of the Dave Matthews song, which is called So Much to Say. They say my hell is the closet and I'm stuck inside. Can't see the light. And my heaven is a nice house in the sky. It's got central heating. And I'm all right. It's kind of a quirky song. It's one of Dave Matthews, I think it's on his first album. Open up my head and let me out, little baby, right? Because here we have been standing for a long, long time. Tripping, trodden trails for a long, long time. I find it's easy to be myself. I find it's better to be somebody else. Isn't that strange? That feels like a weird twin message. I find it's easier to be myself. I find it's better to be somebody else. It's this constant push and pull between the twins. That is a fun song. I'm gonna have to listen to that Dave Matthews song. So much to say. That's exactly what's happening right now. So even if you're thinking, okay, well, my twin is not saying it to me, maybe they're saying it to somebody, a friend, a family member, a therapist, a counselor, a shaman, somebody, spirit. The deepest conversation of all. Maybe they're finally having that call out to spirit, trying to reconcile with their own heart, you know, but it's beautiful. I find this to be so dynamic, such dynamic energy. Let's get a clarifier for the Knight of Swords. What's the message? What are they expressing at this time? Just as an aside, and this is not a reading for me. I mean, I am a water sign, so maybe it is, but anytime the King of Swords shows up, it's my twin. And so what that represents to me is that it's your twin, right? It just is a card that represents your twin. But from the Knight of Swords, we move to the King of Swords. Absolute up-leveling. Your twin is up-leveling, and thank goodness. We want that. Even if it's not with us, especially if it's not with us. We want to up-level, and if we're not with our twin right now, it's like, no, we're going to focus on us. I'm going to focus on me. King of Swords. Very powerful. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra energy. An expert in their field. A very learned person. Very discerning, sometimes cold. Whenever the King of Swords shows up in a reading, it's saying that there's no nonsense, no minced words. King of Swords is a very clear communicator. They know exactly what they think. They express themselves fully. They stand in their power, and I feel that from his image, right? It's almost like the ground he's traversed, or your twin, the ground your twin has traversed, the experience that they've gathered has become a part of them, has become a part of who they are. That's really beautiful. That's really poetic. For the connection, it's a tough one, the connection. I feel as though there's still some feelings that still need to come to the surface. The card is the forgotten, missed opportunities, fear of failure. It kind of reminds me of like a UFO, and like, you know, kind of backwards though. Interesting, isn't it? It's kind of like saying, Spirit's just saying, because I don't take reversals for these cards, but I turn this one in the reverse, and it's kind of like Spirit saying, can you try your best to see things from your twin's perspective, because that's important too. That actually helped a lot of my healing for myself. When I recognized the role that I played in the past with my twin, and I was the chaser, they were the runner. And it's like, why did they run from me? It's like I could understand it when I could see from their perspective. When I could see from his perspective, I could understand why he ran. I could, and I've told him that, you know, since. So there might be some things here that we've failed to look at, or are, you know, maybe remembering bits and pieces. Perhaps it's time, if you're comfortable with it, to go into that quiet space of meditation and really think back. But instead of thinking back to the memories of you and your twin from your perspective, almost like become out of body and look at it from their perspective. The words that you said to them, the actions that you took towards them, against them, for them. Sometimes I find it's easy to be myself. Sometimes I find it's better to be somebody else, right? The lyrics. And that's not just on you, it's also on your twin. The King of Coins, or the King of Pentacles, in the reverse. King of Pentacles in the upright is abundant, financially sound, surrounded by community, by family, stability. In the reverse, it says feeling a little bit of a lack of control in those areas. We're not sitting in the seat of our power. We're not sitting in squarely in that energy. There's insecurity kind of cropping up there. And it might happen. If we're looking at things from our twin's point of view, which is difficult but possible, we might see some things there that we don't like, right, about ourselves. There's number one, it's like this is the space to take responsibility, but then also forgive ourselves. We acted in the best way we knew how in that moment. Now is a different moment. And how are we behaving? How are we looking at things? How are we treating ourselves? How are we treating our twin? How are we treating this sacred connection? Like, even if you're in no contact with your twin, you know that you're in contact with them in the 5D. You can feel it. You can feel them. How are you loving yourself and thereby loving them? Right? When you do honor and justice to your connection. And that means looking at the whole thing, you and them. Right? Spirit's advice, very powerful. The Chiromancer, delivering news, collaboration. I think you will be having a very crucial conversation with your twin soon, if it hasn't already started. It's like written. It is written, Spirit just said. It is written. It's clarified by number 15 of the Major Arcana, the Devil card. Capricorn energy. You could be dealing with a Capricorn or have Capricorn places in your chart. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. It's difficult to talk about sometimes, isn't it? The Devil card traps the lovers, right? Keeps the twins trapped and bound in cycles of repeat, in addiction, codependency, negative self-talk, workaholism. This is Spirit's advice. It's like bringing all of those shadow aspects right to the fore, where we can read them, we can see it plainly and clearly, and we can express it fully, and we can take responsibility for it, and we can say, I refuse to repeat those cycles. I will not repeat them again. Even if it means I don't connect with my twin, I'm not going to go down that path where I forget myself. So we're gonna end the reading with the uncreated. Let's see what number this is. XL, yeah, the uncreated. The unconceived, the seed of the seed. There was a time when everyone you know was not yet born, when every city was yet to be named, when your favorite song was yet to be sung. Such is the energy of in creatum. This card indicates the subtle but profound force that summons all that will be into existence. The most sacred of formulas cannot be manufactured, contained, bought, or sold. It is the pure intelligence of creation pulsing at the door of reality. Its timing is precise, and it is happening now. Do not delay. Send an invitation to the uncreated. Allow it to formulate and gestate. Soon, a sketch, a map, or a name will draw itself upon your mind. Envision and believe. The architecture of the future is within you. All ground is fertile. Life begets life. That was tremendous. It's a call to action. It's a call to action. Don't be afraid, twins. It's scary. It's scary, but it's beautiful. You being here on Earth at this time as a twin flame, let's take your twin out of it for a second. You being here is sacred. You are here for a sacred purpose. Don't ever, ever forget that. So that's your reading, twins. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.